sunny day in beautiful Santa Monica. So today I want to talk about mental illness and the industry of psychiatry and psychology. So it's a touchy subject. So many people are diagnosed with different illnesses, and there's probably something to mental health and like handicapped or disabled, like actual mental deficiencies, and then like prescribed diseases which could be borderline made up, and then borderline the actual like saying that it actually like saying there's an issue creates an issue. Like, for example, if I say like you suffer from low confidence, it could be like me saying that like lowers your confidence. Like there could be stuff like that with mental health, and I think there is for sure. Like I think the entire thing works with how your mind's working. Like how you perform is a mirror of how your mind is performing. So if someone could influence that, which they do, with opinions on it, especially if they're in positions of authority over you and you kind of like accept that opinion. So there's like a huge opportunity to manipulate people's minds with opinions from experts in the field. Now, the experts in the field have a job to keep because it's their livelihood, so they're incentivized to do what their job tells them to do, and the industry is incentivized to stay alive so that it keeps making money. And the industry is therefore incentivized to keep diagnosing people. So the trend is going to go towards creating more diagnoses to sell more pills and to create more diseases. Straight up, there's like diseases or so-called diseases of the mind that are just like made up more so now than before. You could look at like, I don't know, ADHD or ADD existing way more or being prescribed way more now than it used to be, just because people are bored. And then the solution is pills, or depression being treated with pills that make you suicidal. Like there's actually like no cure for any like mental illness, right? There's just these pills that keep you on them, and I think for the most part, like I said, there could be actual like handicaps. So I think there are like people with less developed and stuff, but I think there's so much room for shadiness in the mental health industry, and the fact that it's not a hard science at all. Like there's no way to actually, like, I don't know, they throw around ideas like chemical imbalance, but like there's no hard proof of that. There's no like test that you can say, oh, here's the chemicals that are missing and stuff. It's all like a super shady soft science. So yeah, realizing that and then so like I said, there's the need to continue selling pills and the need to overprescribe, like the the trend is going to push that way for the money. The fact that there's like no hard evidence and stuff. And then the third thing I wanted to say was like the societal like structure and system in place. There's a lot in the society, and it's always been like this. That's just the way, I don't know if humans are, but there's a lot that will say like is acceptable, and then that's not acceptable. And when you start to stray like too high or too away, we'll kick back and say, oh, that's crazy. And I think that's like a weakness, especially in this day and age when we're like this is crazy that I'm able to broadcast this to so many people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, craziness, the ideas of what is possible is so, like, more and more, so much is possible, and the idea of crazy is just like, it's weak. It's a weak thing to say, to push back someone that is pushing things forward at a high level. So I wanted to share that thought. Like, we as people have to, I think, for me personally, like, I don't want to call or say someone's crazy. Like, I think it's just a weakness. Like, so often it means that you don't understand their point of view. Like, if you were that person, you would think what they think. And for me, it shows more weakness from the person that's saying it. Yeah, like, I have really high ambitions, and then like the industry is so wanting to create diseases that it's like, oh, you're super ambitious, you have grandiose ideas and illusions of grandeur, that's a disease. Like, why the fuck would ambition be a disease? Like, isn't that scary that a system is telling you that if you're mad ambitious, like, it's a disease? Like, that's so for me, I'm like super distrusting about that industry, and I think there's like tremendous reason to be distrusting about it. But I know it's a sensitive issue, and I know a lot of people like touch upon this, and I think it's good to talk, but I think you really have to be open-minded before you start taking pills. Man, whatever you're going through and whatever they tell you it is, like, really try meditating, try exercising, try different types of psychedelic drugs that would help open your mind and maybe give you a better understanding of why you feel what you're feeling. Go on a retreat, but to prescribe, to say like, okay, I'm gonna take a pill from like a industry that wants me to stay on this pill, doesn't want me to like not be on it, wants me to continue being on it, and that this pill is doing like hindering your mind. Like, I think however you are is how you're meant to be. Some people are more like off the wall and more intense and shit. Like, it's gonna disrupt the relationships in the world that they're in if they can't handle it. But that's just how people are. Like, so we learn how to handle ourselves. But it's your call. Like, if you want to pill yourself, if you want to accept what a person is telling you because his job is forcing it. Like, I think even some psychiatrists, some people in the industry, like, may not realize how much, like, it could be that that they're not awake or open-minded enough to realize like what they're in, like, and how controlled and pushed that is. So yeah, those are my ideas and feelings today. And I know, like, we always grow and evolve, and my ideas and feelings could change, but I felt like I really wanted to lay out my feelings on this. Super important to be true to yourself and say what you think, and I'm sure people watching this have their own feelings and ideas, and they should say what they think. So yeah, be true to yourself and fuck the system. No. Just be open-minded and don't be afraid to stray. Like, your duty to like do and say what you think is what forms and shapes our like, you being society. Like, you have an ability to shape the thought, so say your shit. And people that do that and stay true change the thought. So in this day and age when we all have abilities to share our thoughts, do it, man. Do it. We as people have the power to share our thoughts like mad, and it's scary when you've never done it and shit to take the power to share your thoughts, but man, we all can just share it. We don't have to be stuck in hive minds anymore. Alright, thought leaders, let's do it.